Hello, welcome back. I've done a thing. Cleaned up a little bit here. I got the bracket off. I did a bit of scrubbing. It's still not great, but I'll keep scrubbing. I've vacuumed a lot of the mess that I made. I will have to do more of that. But yeah, it will get a little bit nicer looking. I need to get in there with a smaller brush. There are, it's a terrible, icky mess. But bracket is off. And I've put it here in a bag. All of the bits and the bolts, etc. That'll go home with me, and I will soak it in a derusting solution and let it all bubble up and clean, and then I'll scrub it, and then I'll scrub it again, and then I'll probably scrub it a third time, and then prime it, and maybe prime it multiple times before I eventually actually paint it. The engine's going to be a lot harder to paint, but I mean, whatever. I can do that probably this week, and then we can fit the alternator, and then we've got a bunch of electrical work to do, which will be a welcome change from the work that I've been doing, which has just been cleaning up, and it doesn't look like I've made any progress whatsoever on the cleaning up. But first, since it's a beautiful day and sunny means sanding, sanding means priming, and priming means top coat. So I'm going to take advantage of the last day or so of sun before the rains come again. I'll wipe everything down with acetone, give everything a last final sanding, and then get the primer on. And prepping this for primer because I want to get it done ASAP. If I can get these two port lights in before the rains continue, I'll be very, very happy and stop that one rather persistent leak on top of the bunk in this room. That would be really, really cool. Maybe I can spend some time aboard on weekends again.
Good morning. It's a lovely day today, as you've seen in that time lapse, and I'm preparing to get a primer coat on while the sun is shining. And I'm just about to start that. But first, when you leave anything for too long, you do need to give it a bit of a swoosh. Right. Now we swoosh it. But you don't need to see any of this actually, so let's cut to doing the work. Right, primer is on. I do not know if I'm going to do another one. Since these two are already fitted for windows, portholes, they will go in. I need to get some blue because I don't have much blue left. And then hopefully next week there's some more sunny days left, and then I can do this side. I also topped up over there, as you've seen, and I'm little bit over there, but this all still needs a lot more work. And as soon as the really nice sunny weather comes along and I get a couple of more days, then that's what I'll do. All right, it's blue time. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to do too much. I've noticed that I've got very little blue left, so I'm just going to do 100 mils. I need another 16 of the epoxy part, the resin. I'll mix this up now, and then let's see if we can sneak in a first layer of this stuff. The sun is going away very quickly, and I get shade from various buildings and things around me, so I don't really get a lot of sun on that spot. So as usual, I'm using Interthane 990. With the tin from Hull that never closes properly. All right, 16 mils, let's go. Despite how often I clean this, I think probably the main problem is because this stuff is all imported and they don't, I mean, it gets used, but it's not like it's flying off the shelves. By the time you actually get to buying this stuff, it's already been sitting for quite some time on a ship or in a store. So if this is supposed to last a year or 2 years, when you buy it here, you've probably already lost half of its shelf date. So let's mix this up and then go outside and put the first layer on. This shadow is fast creeping across the hole, but there we go. It's just the first coat. I'll do the second coat once I've actually started doing the deck up to here. Otherwise, next week this side. And the wind's picked up, which should help everything dry faster. Can't wait. We wait for good weather to continue on the deck. I have gone ahead, scrubbed and cleaned an area of the engine here. There's still a lot more to do. I'd like to replace these oil hoses. I'd like to replace many hoses on this engine, but yeah. And I've sprayed a high heat tolerant silver paint. I need to do that other side over here, but I'm not there yet. I'll slowly move my way around the bottom of the engine. And it took quite a while of scrubbing. I sat scrubbing for quite a few hours to get this done, but
I think it looks better, and at least I'll be able to see if things are rusting. I haven't done, like, some of this is overspray, so it hasn't been properly done. I need to remove all of the mounts at some point. I'll do them one at a time, and then I'll deal with that separately some other time. At the moment though, I can't really do that, but I do need to do the mounts. I have also done the same with the brackets. And here they are in my little makeshift spray booth. They've had 2 or 3 coats. They're busy drying at the moment because I just put another coat on now. And then I'll be able to mount the alternator. I'm kind of keen for that because the electric work will begin hopefully in the next week. I have also acquired some fuses, and I've also ordered a solar isolator, so that'll come here. All of that's going to get disconnected, and I will have solar isolator switches under here. Solar will go into there and then into my Victron, so that I can finally do that. And all of this is really prepping for batteries to be set up. So these batteries I've been testing for quite some time. It seems that that AGM battery is not working so well. It's got a fault, it's not keeping charge, and this one may have the same one. They just decided to kill themselves the other day. And then I have 2 more under here which are doing fine. So the starting of the electrical work is looming, and the thing that'll kick that off will be the alternator setup. I've got all the electrics I need. I've got breakers, I've got fuses, I've got cables, I think I said that, ready to rock and roll with that job. And I need to move 1 more battery into its little cupboard. That being the start battery over there, moves into this area that we've prepared. Right, it's the next day and it's time to install this bracket. There is the bracket, and there is its location. Let's get started. I have a rough idea how everything's going to fit, but I need to put some spacers in. I need to adjust it a little bit, and then I'll do the final tying down of everything once I've got the belt aligned and I'm happy with it. I can knock that bracket a little bit with those bolts. I can move everything a little bit forward, a little bit backwards. Oops, okay, I'll have to move that. I've now trapped it. The top one will be for adjusting the tension on the belt, but as for alignment, this and that will need to be adjusted. Right, let's get on with that. All right, mounted and fitted. Not electrified yet, but we're working on that. I am about to start in there, but it would be cool if we could start the engine and then we can end this video for the week on a high. I think it's tight enough. It's not super loose. Maybe I do need to pull it in just a little bit more and give it another tighten. Otherwise, the only other thing I was hoping to do here was pull the spacer in. So I think I need to tighten this a bit more, and that'll pull the spacer in. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a spacer here, and as you tighten it, the spacer pushes forward and pushes forward on that, so that we can get the gap at the end there
a little bit less. So I think I'm going to do that first so that we have the least amount of wobble. And then let's start the engine. Open the seacock. And start the engine. Well, that's reassuring. So I will keep an eye on what's happening with the engine. I'll let it come up to temperature. I'll keep an eye on the belt. And then I think for next week, we'll do a ton of electrical work. There's some solar electrical work coming, and then there's some electrical work for the alternator to wire it up to the batteries. I need to run some cables. I need to drill some holes. But that'll be that. That'll be it for this week. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all next week, hopefully, or else in 2 weeks' time. Bye, guys.